Listening to recordings from Paul Weidman and his orchestra featuring Bix and Frankie Trumba. In fact, that is interesting because Frankie Trumba was a massively influential figure as well, and his influence extended to the likes of Lester Young and the sort of the cool school of sax playing, and even Coleman Hawkins. Others, they all sort of saw him as being one of the most important early exponents of the saxophone, and he played the C melody sax, and he was a really important figure. I'm going to play that again, that bit of solo. And incidentally, I've just reset the stream again. We'll give it another go with the new settings. Maybe they don't come into effect unless you restart the PC. I've just done that. I don't know if it's working. It dropped out just before, so strange things are happening. We have to investigate further. But we'll do what we can in situ. All right, let's have a listen to that Frankie Trumba C melody sax solo. This is the very beginning of Spacious Jazz. Just after Mr. Crosby, and then there's a blasting big solo afterwards, and he splits the note, but it doesn't matter because it's bold and it's out there and fresh. Anyhow, here we go, Mr. Trumba on the C melody saxophone. Have it. I have to hear that again when I'm inspired. I've got to have a double take on something. I think what we can probably do now is cut to the chase and have a listen to one of the most influential recordings from that time. I've probably played this before, but I don't mind a second listening. It's the same sort of the cream of the crop from that particular recording we just heard, but they're in a small ensemble here and they're sort of doing progressive stuff. And we'll have a listen now to Singin' the Blues. And this would possibly be one of the most influential recordings from the 20s in terms of setting the scene for a whole new style of jazz. vk3sl. Bix and his orchestra. It's actually Frankie Trumbauer and his orchestra, featuring Bix, Eddie Lang, Miff Moll, and others, a small ensemble contingent of the Paul Whiteman Orchestra. And one of the most influential recordings of its generation. That record set the scene for a whole, basically the whole modern jazz movement and spacious jazz, and came from the exploits, was partly derived, I should say, a lot of contributors to New Horizons, but this was a very important part of the jigsaw. And we heard Frankie Trumbauer at the start with a solo that would have inspired a young Lester Young. He said that he was completely transfixed with Frankie Trumbauer's playing. But, look, I hope you don't mind. And by the way, greetings to Mr. QL. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for your kind words. It's nice to know that you're listening in and UHF is working. These are test missions, of course. They're just modulated sound tests to validate volume and clarity. I'll have a listen to that solo again at the start of this, and we won't play the whole track. I'll play just the Frankie Trumbauer solo, the C melody sax solo again, and the Bix solo, which follows on, and just have and maybe see how you react to it in view of more contemporary styles which emerged. This is an early recording. It goes back to 1928. Progressive jazz from the 1920s. In fact, that record goes back to 1927, not 28. It's early days. So when you think of the sort of high-octane trad sound that sort of characterises music from that period, this is quite a sidestep. Excuse me playing things twice. I always enjoy a second indulge. And I may have fixed the stream. Wayne, if you're there, see if it's okay, because I realised I had multiple channels. The OBS program I use is updated, and it seems to sort of open up 4 mic channels at once by default. Very strange. Anyhow, I've reduced the others, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping we've got a better outcome. Fingers crossed. Anyhow, we're looking at sort of origins of progressive jazz through the Whiteman mantle, and I have here another one from the same session. I have played this fairly recently, but it is significant, really significant, and features the same musicians, same session, and it's a track called For No Reason at All in C. Now, this one features Bix on the piano. Self-taught musician, wasn't very good at reading, but he was obsessed with Maurice Ravel, and he studied Ravel's music and listened to it and absorbed his French impressionistic influences, which really are profoundly important in the origins of cool jazz. All those extended chords and ambience. So, listen to the piano on this. It is striking. And of course we hear another great solo from Frankie Trumbaugh, the C melody sax player, who was so important at the genesis. vk3sl testing. Track called For No Reason at All in C. Big Spiderback, Frankie Trumbaugh, Eddie Lang, and a special recording from 1927. Now, Miles Davis would have been 1 year of age when that recording was made. He was born in 26. That recording was made in 1927. And it's really amazing when you think of how sort of spacious contemporary jazz evolved very significantly in the 1940s and 50s. but it had its antecedents back in the 20s with recordings like what we just heard. vk3sl test missions on 160 and on UHF, and streaming. We're trying the streaming service out. Hopefully I've resolved the problem. I've realised what was happening. I think it's a default setting in OBS. I need to check this software out. It's one of these software packages, so complicated, and it does so many things. It's easy to get lost in the menus. I hate menus. They drive me nuts. Anyhow, just a reminder that we are doing a late night sessione, and at 11:30 tonight we'll be cranking up the gramophone, and we'll have more missions tonight. And Frank VK3JR and I will be at the helm, and we'll probably indulge in some classical selections and other nostalgia exhibits. We'll sort of just mine the archive and have a bit of a chinwag at the same time. So looking forward to catching up with Frank. And and a word that tomorrow, I've got to go to a concert tomorrow, so we won't be having any afternoon missions tomorrow. It won't be happening. So we'll have to underscore and delete. And we'll leave the bands open for other contenders. There's been quite a few tests of late, so it's good to share the space. All right, I haven't really thought about what I'm doing next. I sort of had another one of those big Whiteman sessions, and as per usual, I always return. There's a bit of a Groundhog Day phenomenon about these missions. I'm sorry, folks. Look, how about we do something completely spontaneous? I'm going to just reach into the box of records over here. I'm going to reach in. Here we go. I've got them all in my hand here. Big pile of 78s. Look, all the shellac, you can hear them in my hand here. And I'm going to shuffle through, shuffle off to Buffalo. What do we have? A parlophone from the 1950s. No, 1940s. And it says Count Basie and his orchestra, and Coleman Hawkins on the saxophonium. So here's a feature artist. This is from a completely different era, different style of music. But, yeah, let's change pace. VK3SL testing. Count Basie and the orchestra on an old parlophone, very scratched up old record, one from the pile. These are just random tests, playing 78s directly to air, modulated sound with a difference. And we'll keep looking through the pile here and we'll find something else. Another spontaneous offering. Oh, by the way, our input frequency I think is open. If anyone wants to come up and have a chat. That's 145.040. What do we have? Another one. Oh, here we go. This is a famous track. I think everyone will know this one. This features Glenn Miller and the orchestra. A recording from 1939. I know this one for sure. It's from, what film is it from? Orchestra Wives, Sun Valley Serenade. I think it's Sun Valley Serenade. Wonderful film. Features the Modernaires and a great track. Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Step aside, partner, it's my day. Bend an ear and listen to my version of a really solid Tennessee excursion. Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Yes, yes, track 29.
Boy, you can give me a shine.
Can you afford to board Chattanooga Choo Choo?
I got my fare
and just a trifle to spare.
You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore.
Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer
than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina.
When you hear the whistle blowing 8 to the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far.
Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling.
Ooh, ooh, Chattanooga, there you are.
There's gonna be a certain party at the station.
Satin and lace,
I used to call Funny Face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam.
So Chattanooga Choo Choo,
Won't you choo-choo me home?
Chattanooga, Chattanooga,
Get aboard,
Chattanooga, Chattanooga,
all aboard.
Chattanooga Choo Choo,
Won't you choo-choo me home?
Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Glenn Miller at his best. Chattanooga Choo Choo. I think it's from Orchestra. No, Sun Valley Serenade. What a track and what an enduring tune. Yes. We're testing here and sampling 78s, and I don't think I've got anything else to report. I think the stream is going okay now, so I can refer to it if you want to listen in greater fi. It's there as a primary or secondary service, depending on your take on this enterprise. I should say it's my primary service is the YouTube stream, and secondary service is modulated tests on 160 and UHF. That fits the bill. Anyhow, we are just meandering along here. No rhyme or reason, no logic. It's just a knee-jerk reaction to something. Well, let's have a look through this pile of records. Here's one, a Duke Ellington, and another classic. Here we go. We'll all know this one too. This is from the same period, late 1930s, and it's from the Columbia film Revel with Beverly, and a very classic Ellington tune, Take the A Train. Duke Ellington and the band of an original, very scratched up shellac recording, live 78s to air. Test missions on 160 and on UHF, and this is just an indulgence. It's just a sandpit. Yeah, well, you know, kids play imaginary games. This is my sort of pretend zone where I pretend I'm doing something important, but really it's nothing much. Well, I'm going to cut to the shadow very soon, and I don't know how well the stream's been servicing needs tonight, but before doing that, I am going to play a very special, or say a very special hello to Mr. Walter, who may be listening. Usually listens on the stream, and if the stream's not working well, it may not be a goer. But look, I'd like to say hello to you anyhow, Walter. I'm sorry to hear that you've been unwell, and I know you do listen, and I know that Mr. Moshlow was a very good friend of yours. So this is especially for you. Sometimes a piece of music is so timelessly beautiful, it takes you to another place. We've just been listening to Morris Shaw, or Moshlo as he was known. And I devote that recording to Walter Kiesling, who may be listening tonight. Well, there's no way I can play an episode of The Shadow after listening to something so remarkable, and I've just reached out and found a recording of some music from Romania, some folk music featuring Tarafti Hadou, a great Romanian folk ensemble. Now this is a chance to test out the new CD player I have in the system here. Part of the stash yesterday was a card reader and CD player, all in one. It's being sold off for next to nix, with a few cosmetic scratches, and apparently it's new old stock, so I'm hoping it'll last the distance. It's DJ fair, but it sort of integrates reasonably well. And since all the CD players have recently met their demise, I'm hoping that this will do the trick. Let's have a listen to the music of Romania. This is vk3sl, and we'll stand by for this CD for the next 40 minutes or so.
Noaptea pe fulgerături, măi, noaptea pe fulgerături, măi. Ca pe rouă și pe ceață, că atunci căișor să hață. Și stau cu puica pe brațe, și stau cu puica pe brațe, și mă satur de dulceață, și mă satur de dulceață, măi. Măi, 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 să-ți adu durmânzuleț, să-ți adu durmânzuleț, măi, pablică galbenă în moț, măi, că așa le place la hoți, măi. Dă-mi drumul de la Pripon, ți-aduc tata-l cailor, măi. Dă-mi drumul de la Fringhie, dă-mi drumul de la Fringhie, să-ți adu doar herghelie, să-ți adu doar herghelie, măi. tată, măi. Eram cu caii pe baltă, eram cu caii pe baltă, măi, 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 măi. Când cânta două ori, când cânta de două ori, măi, număram la gălbiori, măi, număram la gălbiori, măi. Ai, când fuse la Aldămaș, n-aveam loc de păgubaș, ale vere păgubaș, ale vere păgubaș. Ia dă-bia din Aldămaș, măi, ia dă-bia din Aldămaș, măi. Ți-am furat caii din graș, ți-am furat caii din graș. Cine-a furat să trăiască, feream păgubaș plesnească, măi, 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 măi. Că hoțul e cu un păcat, a călica și-a plecat, păgubașul e cu o mie, că n-are păși să puie, că n-are păși să puie.
Măi, păi de foi Măi, ziua de 22 a venit vremea înapoi. Să trăim, frate, și noi, să trăim, frate, și noi. Că foiță foielată, ca să trăim în dreptate, să trăim în libertate, să trăim în libertate. Foaie de-o viola, acolo în Timișoara, acolo făcea. Logincile le lua și pe străzi, frate, pleca, măi, și din gură că striga, los cu dictatoria, măi. Mă, chioriștii ce făcea? Chioriștii ce făcea? Tunurile le scotea, tunurile le scotea. În popor, frate, trăgea și cu apă că-i stropea, cu apă nu răușea, tancurile le scotea, pe popor că l-omora, măi, în spitale că-i băga, în spitale că-i băga, măi. Oaie de-o viola, măi, ia studenții ce făcea, ia studenții ce făcea. La mașină se suia, la București că pleca, drumul taberii intra, din mașină că striga, sărisaților români, ca să scăpăm de păgân, măi. La palat că ajungea și din gură că striga, jos cu dictatoria, Ceaușescu că auzea, Ceaușescu că auzea. Iar Bobu ce făcea? Un elicopter că chema și cu el, frate, fugea. La Târgoviște ajungea, măi, la Târgoviște ajungea. Poliția ce făcea? După el că se lua pe Ceaușescu că-l prindea, într-un tax te-l ducea, la București la ducea, într-o odă el punea și începea, dar judeca. Un doctor, frate, venea de Siunea că-i lua, măi. Procurorul judeca, e bine, Tirian, așa, ai mâncat România, ai mâncat România, măi.
nevestii frumoase și bărbații nu-i acasă. Măi Du-mă, Doamne, și mă pune unde e țuica de prună și nevestii mai bune și bărbații duși în lume. Mă fac burască pe pământ până merg în așternut, măi, să le saturi de iubit, să le saturi de iubit. Ai, Isaac, ai mor, măi, pe brațile cui mi-e dor, măi. Și cu nevasta bătrână, măi, mai bine cu o casă rea, să plouă, să ningă ea, să dau apa cu vadra, noroiul cu lopata, sau nevastă tinerea, măi, aolică, să trăiesc cu dracu ea și să stau cu ea pe vatră, să mănânc turță necoaptă, să mai mi-o sărut odată. Mi-a secat inima toată, mi-a secat inima toată. Ai, Isaac, ai mor, măi, pe brațile cui mi-e dor.
çubutarina Aleman de çevuriye Aleman de kaloriye Aleman de çevuriye Aleman de kaloriye Ağlarım tatmanadan Tarilerim tatmanmala Tarilerim tatmanmala Tarilerim tatmanmala Ağlarım tatili Tarilerim tatayla Tarilerim tatmala Tarilerim tatmala Paşam atanatan Tarilerim tatmanmala Paşam batmanatan Tarilerim tatmanmala Tarilerim tatmanmala Tarilerim tatmanmala Tarilerim tatmanmala Tarilerim tatmanmala Nadima kösim bruneto Oh mama 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 Nadima kösim bruneto Copo pato şab talento Oh mama tatmanata Tarilerim tatmanmala 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 Ek duy deşi duy Çimi da tunan dumuy Ek duy deşi ştar Çimi da me domaşkar Domaşkar kovatino Köla vezes nişto Başkar kovatino Köla vezes nişto Ek duy deşi duy Tişkarim banka duy Ek duy deşi ştar Çimi da me domaşkar Bam 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 Tan 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 Bam 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 Ay dan 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 ay la dan 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 pa ding ding da malang da ah bam pa ding dan dan ai ding da mal mala 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 dan da ai ding da mal mala ai ding da mal mala ai ding da mal mala ah bam 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 ai ding da dan ai ding da dan pa ding da malang bam ai de 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 anh đi lên người ta tay làm anh đi lên người ta tay làm she oh ba 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 bam 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 lại đi lên người ta mà lại đi lên người ta mà lên người ta mà na đi mà cái sim sugar sare gara fan dai bar sila pata koi chochi khabla kiya ki chachi khalan maur sarina ay tu kotalarina khalan maur sarina ay tu chobatarina am ba bam bam pat malata tari ding da malmala tari ding da malmala tari ding da malmala tari ding da malmala dan la tari ding da malmala tari ding da malmala tari ding da malmala bang 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 hey ding ding da malmala
întoarce-te. Oh, da, male, Margaret, întoarce-te, întoarce-te așa la mine, amândoi s-o frigem bine, întoarce-te așa la mine, amândoi s-o frigem bine. Dum dacă dum la dai dum la la, dum dacă dum la dai dum la la, dai dum la dai dum la la, reg dacă dum la dai dum la la. Intercontinental, vinde carne fără oase la gagicile frumos. Hai dumba, dumba, dumba și-o vinde cu 3 leciungă. Hai dumba, dumba, dumba și-o vinde cu 3 leciungă. Oh, da duma la la, dum dacă duma la da duma la la. Oh, da duma la la, dum dacă duma la da duma la la, reg dacă duma la da duma la la, dum dacă duma la da duma la la, da duma la da duma la la, reg dacă duma la da duma la la. N-am dezbat că sunt brunetă, dita mai paro talento. Ai don't da da no da 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 no da la. Ai don't da da no da 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 no da la. Oh, da dum la la, dum da dum la da dum la la. Oh, da dum la la, dum da dum la da dum la la. Reg da dum la da dum la la, dum da dum la da dum la la. Da dum la da dum la la, reg da dum la da dum la.
Și-am zis verde salbă moale, cât mi argeșul de mare casca, să mă relumare, să mă relumititel măi, să-mi pui patra gosteanel măi, să-mi pui patra gosteanel, papa, padidino, pa, să bărelu cu dulceață, trece iarna și nu-mi gheață, papa, padidino, pa, foaie verde maghirar, mă, of, mă urcai din Valendar, măi, dar un coachii pe sabar, măi, văzui să părencili, măi, cum n-albește pânzili, măi, fa, 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 didino, fa. Deci să-mi văd picioarele, măi, albe ca de pedili, măi, fa, 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 didino, fa.
Săbărelul cu dulceața, trece iarna și nu gheață, fa, 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 didino, fa, măi. Cât e până la boboteața, trece cât un sloi de gheață, Și să trage pe verdeață și mi-a bătut ușeață. Fa, 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 di-di-do, fa, măi. Când e până la pobotează, trece câte-un sloi de gheață și să trage pe verdeață și mi-a bătut ușeață. Na, 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 dorule, fa, măi.
Dar al Dumnezeu de ploaie să fie naș locul mare. Na, 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 Doamne, slavă. Dar al Dumnezeu de ploaie să fie naș locul mare. Na, 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 Doamne, slavă. Hai să-mi ia puntea de la vale, să-mi ia puntea de la vale. Na, 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 Doamne, na, hai să rămână numai pari părugenii, să ne cedă nelovenii.
Salto, iauzi, Ți stângă la bătaie, pune jos. Ți doi pe amândoi, trage. Ți dreapta goană.
From vk3sl.
Albă ești frumoasă ei, cățenei că nu iubești. Nu mai dăm buric sucești și mai rămân bolăvești. Ești albă ca laptilii și te întorci cu spatilii. Sunt neagră ca gadina și mă întorc cu inima. Auzele popătoacă, ieși afară și te roagă. Roagă-te la Dumnezeu să moară bărbatul tău, să rămâi să te iau eu. Una, două, trei, salto, salto. Zi două pe amândouă, iauzi-te. Auzele pipala, ca ieși apară mulge bac. Până când suge vițelul, iubește-ți pomnicelul. Auzele pițigoiu, haide să-mi fundăm zăboiu. Tu pe burtă, eu pe brânc, până nu mai juca prin luni. Salto, 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 iauzi-te. Asta-i sârba, băi, fraților, a lui Cacurică de la Clejeni. Salto, 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 iauzi-te.
This is vk3sl. You've been listening to Taraf de Harouch, a Romanian folk ensemble. And we'll be back later on tonight. 11:30 missions, and we'll be ushering Frank into the fold, and we'll have a good old chinwag, I expect. So tune in 11:30 tonight on 1868 kilohertz, and also on 147.475 on VHF tonight. Thank you for listening in, and we look forward to your company later on. vk3sl.